My God, man, just watching this film again is... I know a good friend of mine who enjoys the film, and that's cool. It just, we agree to disagree on this one. This is a god-awful movie. And it makes me more mad because this is the last time we'll see Christopher Reeve as Superman. This comes from a guy that loves Superman 3. I know it's silly, but I sincerely love it. I love Richard Pryor. I love the supercomputer. I love the Superman versus Clark Kent scene. I love that movie. Sincerely. This one, though, I know the circumstances behind it where Christopher Reeve did not want to do another Superman film. The Salkinds after Superman 3 did not... It made money, but it just critically was panned. People weren't happy about it, so they're like, oh, Superman's done. Then, they did Supergirl, that didn't do it. Then they were like, okay, it's really done. Then one thing led to another, and Cannon Films got it. Cannon Films wanted to be the next big studio. That's why they were trying to do stuff like the Masters of the Universe He-Man movie. They wanted to do a Spider-Man movie. They did a Superman movie here. Then they wanted to do a Superman 5 with the deleted footage from this movie. They're like, oh yeah, we cut out like 45 minutes. We're going to take that 45 minutes and maybe use it for Superman 5. But Cannon Films was going through hard times with the... Simply with just the... money issues. Films were not doing well. They were getting ready for bankruptcy, and pretty soon after they were dead in the water. And this film just did not have the money that it should have. It looks cheap. It looks like it cost $5. The effects are god awful. Trash. I know another thing, Christopher Reeve didn't want to do it, but he's like, okay, if Street Smart, passion project for him, gets financed, which was him and Morgan Freeman, then he'll do Superman 4. I'm sorry. It wasn't worth it, because I saw Street Smart. Was it Street Smart? I think it was called Street Smart. I wasn't a fan of it. I didn't get the hype behind it. I know my friends like the film. Teach their own. I did not care for Street Smart. I thought it was pretty boring, to be honest. But this one, it just... Right from the beginning, you have these cheap-ass titles that look like they were done on fucking Windows Movie Maker. He saves the Russian spaceship, and you know you're up shit creek when the flying scenes look fucking worse than they did in 1978. And this came out in 1987. So almost 10 years after. And the effects look worse. Because the flying scenes, when they're going towards the camera, they all look almost pretty much the fucking same. Like they just reuse the shot over and over again. And the color, when you look at the color of the people who are flying, whether it be him or Nuclear Man, especially Superman, it's not right. They look, the color is faded. It's like, man, get a fucking artist in here and color in the shit. He's about ready to fade out with the fucking celluloid. That's because of the limited budget. Limited fucking budget. And I had to... It's not just the budget, though. I mean, the budget is a big thing, but the story I thought was lame. It was a lame story for a Superman movie. I get what Christopher Reeve was trying to do with, you know, it's the time of the Cold War, you know, America, Russians, things of that nature. And then what about the nuclear arms race? Why doesn't Superman do something to stop that? That doesn't happen in a movie because it's fucking boring. Because what really comes of it? Superman says, I want to take care of and get rid of all nuclear weapons. He does it at the UN. Well, the United Nations, that cost $10. It was at someone's clubhouse. And no one has an objection to it. Like, no, that's bullshit, Superman. Fuck you. Or, fuck you. Take your tape and choke on it. Just like you choke on my dick, Superman. Like, everyone's okay with this guy going, I'm going to take all your nuclear weapons and eat shit. And like, yeah, I love the taste of shit. Alright, Superman. And so Superman just takes all their nuclear weapons, has this giant fucking net. Where the fuck did the net come from? In outer fucking space. This gigantic fucking net. And then has like 1,000,000 nuclear warheads that somehow, excuse me for being dumb, the military shoots these nuclear weapons to the sky for Superman to catch them. Now, if they've been shot, that means they're armed, right? Usually, when you land, they'll blow up. But yeah, if Superman grabs them and places them all, that means they're touching, right? So why doesn't, if one touches, like, why don't they all blow up? They're all touching each other. They're in this big fucking net. And then he throws a giant net into the fucking sun. Yeah, that won't fuck up the sun. You just killed a There's so many times that Superman would have killed the human race. But because of bad writing, we're saved. And that's not a script issue. That's a writing issue. And I hate to speak ill, but Christopher Reeve did not do a good job writing this. Well, he came up. Well, to be fair, Christopher Reeve came up with the story. To be fair, Lawrence Connor and Mark Rosenthal. Now, yeah, I understand. Once again, I understand they were hampered by Cannon Films and the budget cuts. But for fuck's sake, when you're writing shit like, I'm gonna take 1,000,000 warheads that are touching each other but they don't blow up, and then I'm going to throw them to the fucking sun, and that won't do anything to the sun. Then there's a moment later on where Superman's literally moving the entire fucking moon in front of the fucking sun, while Nuclear Man has a woman who is breathing in outer fucking space. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck are the drugs smoking here? Shit. I mean, this, after the beginning, when he saves these Russians in the spaceship, horrible fucking effects of the flying, Clark Kent decides not to sell his farm. That scene's only there so he can go in a barn, and lo and behold, this random fucking crystal and this random fucking module out of fucking nowhere happens upon. You think that shit would have been, I don't know, part of his... You think he would have looked at that when 3 fucking Kryptonians were fucking everything up in Superman 2? It's like, let me look at this module. What is this? You know, when you're a human and you need to turn back into Superman, maybe that module would have worked there too. Like, where the fuck did this thing come from? Oh, because of shitty writing. Sorry, but it's shitty writing. I love Christopher Reeve as Superman. I love the first 3 Superman movies. But shitty writing is shitty writing. And they do this horrible thing where He looks at shit and makes things disappear. Like the guy who's coming to talk about selling the farm, Christopher Reeve looks at it and the whole fucking thing disappears. I'm like, what fucking power is this now? I know Superman has 85 fucking superpowers, but what's this power? The power to make things disappear with his mind? So he's Superman the magician. I know what I said. The rest of the cast, I don't know how the hell they got Gene Hackman to do this film. I am shocked. He has this annoying, irritating nephew called Lenny Luthor, played by John Cryer. He's as annoying as pissing in the wind or shit on fire in front of a fucking doorstep. It's annoying as crap. The action scenes are lame as hell. Like the first scene in this, the first action scene in this, well, technically second, if you count the Russian spaceship rescue as an action scene. Lois Lane is on a subway. It goes crazy. Oh, it's just Superman flies in front of it. He steps on a rail and he does this. And he doesn't even have to touch it. Just by stepping on the rail, it stops. Wow, what a thrilling action sequence. Be like, well, they didn't have the budget. They didn't have the budget in fucking George Reeves' Superman either, but there was more exciting fucking action scenes than that. Guarantee if you watch those older black and white Superman movies, there's more exciting action in that than in this movie. And they didn't have, what was it, even the, what, $17 million? They didn't have that. That's another thing. Sidney J. Furie was not the right director for this. He works fine in films like Iron Eagle, the Taking of Beverly Hills, those kind of action films. That's his wheelhouse. Superhero movies, no. He's not for that. Sorry, but no. And then the whole thing with the reason Superman goes to the UN is this kid. And at school, the teacher and the kids are watching this program about how the U.S. and Russia, they won't. Talks are broken down. They're going to have their nuclear warhead still with them. And this kid named Jeremy, awful fucking actor. And the teacher was awful too. Like the teacher was about as phony as a $5 horse's ass. What's a $5 horse's ass? Have you seen one? No, exactly. If you do, it's phony as fuck. Just like this fucking lady was phony as fuck. And this fucking kid was phony as fuck. I've seen more $3 bills than acting talent in this kid. And when his name's called Jeremy, I just had that song stuck in my head. Jeremy spoke in class today. He was an annoying little fuck. That there was a lion. He bit the teacher's breast. Jeremy spoke in class today. Jeremy sucked ass in that class today. He needs to shut the fuck up. Fuck Jeremy. This little kid. I was hoping Superman would throw him into the fucking stratosphere, but he didn't. He was annoying as hell. And just a lot of stupid shit. Like Lex Luthor gets the hair of Superman from this fucking museum. And they have the hair that's so strong, it's holding this like 1,000-pound weight. But yet all he has to do is just use some clippers and clip it off. So how the fuck is the hair so powerful it can hold 1,000-pound weight, but if you go this, you get the hair? And don't tell me, well, it was being held by a string. What? Then how the fuck did that string hold the 1,000-pound weight? So that string's about as powerful as Superman's hair, so what's the fucking point? No, it's stupid. It's bad writing. You tell me there's no other ways for him to get the hair? Fuck. How about have him do a rescue scene? Hire a woman that's like messing with his hair. She gets a piece of hair. Here you go, Lex. Thank you, my darling. Or however Gene Hackman would say that line. There you go. Fuck. This whole subplot that was cut out, part of that 45 minutes, was that they do make a earlier version of Nuclear Man, which was trying to be like Bizarro from the comics, but failing. He looked like a shitty wannabe rock artist. Just looked awful, sounded awful. I can see why it was cut out. And then that got destroyed, and then Lex Luthor would do it again, and that's where the Chippendales guy comes in. But before that, Superman visits the Fortress of Solitude, and it looks like the fucking Wizard of Oz is going to come out and be like, I am the Great Bubba, from his fucking curtain. Oh, Clark Kent is a fucking dickhead in this movie because he gets Lois to come into his house, his apartment, then leads her off the fucking building and she's scared to death, and then he flies her in this ugly flying sequence because the color scheme is off on the actors. You don't buy them in the scene. And then Superman is a dickhead and just drops Margot Kidder. She's streaming for her life. And Superman the movie, I never assumed that he just let her go on purpose. But here, apparently he's a dickhead. Just, I'll let you go. Oh, fly to your death. Oh, that's okay. I'll catch you. What a dick. And then he kisses and makes her forget again. I'm like, what an asshole. It's like, instead of a booty call, it's a flighty call. I need a flighty call. I'm in the urge to fly with someone. Lois, I'm going to fly with her. Let me kiss her. Now you've forgotten. Bitches leave. I'm like, kiss my ass. It just makes Superman look like such a douchebag. Like, just to play. I hated that. That's one of the things I like Superman 2 a lot. But I don't like the kiss thing. Oh, she's forgot because he kissed her too much. What the fuck? Stupid shit. I'm like, do you have to do the kiss thing? Do you have to remind us of that shit? And then you got, like you did, out. How many times you don't make her kiss and forget? Screw up her fucking brain cells. So Lex Luthor and Lenny Jerkoff, they take the fucking DNA, they put it on a rocket, it goes up. Nuclear Man is born. He looks like a Chippendales dancer. He looks like he's ready to do the skit with Chris Farley and Patrick Swayze. He's the third guy fucking dancing. That's what he looks like with his fucking snap-on, clip-on nails. What broken nail? Dead weight. He's a dead fuck. And the microphone don't lie. And apparently the original idea was, well, it was going to be Christopher Reeve, which would make sense since it's his DNA. But when in this finished product, like, why the fuck does Superman's DNA make him look like a Chippendales dancer with a shitty outfit? Like, how does that work? Like, when Lex Luthor put the DNA on the rocket, did he also put like a teeny tiny bit of the costume? Once he is born, I give him a little costume, and then the costume is... Where the fuck did he get the costume? Osmosis? And then why does he look like that? And why does he sound like Gene Hackman? Like, why does he have Gene Hackman's voice? Again, this is Superman's DNA, right? He puts it on the rocket. Wouldn't it have Christopher Reeve's voice? You could at least do that. You could afford... Think about it. Why wouldn't you have Christopher Reeve's voice at least coming out? So he could trick people. Yes, it's Superman. Come over here. And like, why does it have Gene Hackman's voice if it's Superman's DNA? And like, where did that costume come from? Looked like it's from a fucking garage sale. And it was like someone's rug that they took and sewed into a fucking shirt. And then why does he look like he should be at a strip club? Should be in that movie A Night in Heaven. Whatever the fuck that movie was called. Ready to say, I'm your obsession. You're my obsession. It might as fucking well. So none of it makes fucking sense. Even like at the gym, like Clark Kent's supposed to have this funny scene with like, oh, he can't lift it. And then this guy's like, hey, you can lift it. The fucking jock has less muscles than Clark fucking Kent. The jock is skinnier than Clark fucking Kent. Like, you can't go to the Venice Beach and pick up a random bodybuilder, buff guy. Hell, you could ask Lou Ferrigno and pay him $10. He'd probably do it. No, they get a guy skinnier than Clark Kent, but he's supposed to be the big jock guy at the gym. Fuck's sake. And even during the fight, like, they go to the Great Wall of China. I guess in the script, when Superman rebuilds the Wall of China, it was supposed to be super speed. Like, he's so fast, he could put all the blocks up. But they couldn't do that, so it just looks like he just goes... just rebuilds them with his eyes or thought. I mean, what's next? He's going to sneeze and make people's heads explode, Stanner style. Is that going to be his new power? Sneeze explosions? What's next? He pisses and fire comes out and burns down the building. Leap tall buildings in a single bound. And piss with fire and burn them down in a single minute. I don't fucking know. He gets frozen, which looks ridiculous. Then he gets out of it. There's a fucking volcano that looks like what a kid would make in class. Statue of Liberty. Nuclear Man's carrying it. Superman gets it. He gets clawed. He gets sick. For some reason. Which again doesn't make sense, because if Nuclear Man gets his power from the sun, but Superman gets his power from the sun, so wouldn't that help him and not hurt him? But whatever. I mean, wouldn't it make more... fucking whatever. Whatever. Nuclear Man is a lame-ass villain. And the ending, like... You tell they cut a lot more shit out, because... Why the fuck does Nuclear Man all of a sudden love Mariel Hemingway? If you don't remember Mariel Hemingway, there's new owners of the Daily Planet. I was going to say Daily Bugle, but that's another superhero. But there's a new owner of the Daily Planet, and his daughter is Mariel Hemingway, who likes Clark Kent, and it's supposed to be this romance that goes nowhere, so there's no point to it. And it doesn't have the charm that Annette O'Toole's did with Superman 3. It doesn't have the charm of that, so it's nothing. For some reason, Nuclear Man loves her. We don't know why. For some reason, Superman knows what Nuclear Man wants to do. We don't know why. Superman just knows where Nuclear Man's going to be and wanted Mariel Hemingway. We don't know why. Superman traps the motherfucker in an elevator very quickly, takes him to the moon, just pounding the moon. So Superman's like, fuck this, moves the entire fucking moon, and there's Nuclear Man in outer space with Mariel Hemingway, who can breathe in outer fucking space. She breathed in outer space. She breathed in outer fucking space. What the fuck is going on here? What in the shit? Oh yeah, moving the moon, the entire fucking moon, ain't gonna do shit. Mariel Hemingway, she must be another superhero. Maybe secretly she's fucking Wonder Woman because she can breathe in outer fucking space. So he blots the entire fucking sun with the entire fucking moon. Gives Mariel Hemingway safety, takes Nuclear Man, dumps his ass into a nuclear power. Which, if that's how he gets his powers, why would that kill him? But whatever. If he's Nuclear Man, but nuclear kills him. He's Nuclear Man, but nuclear kills him. That'd be like Toxic Crusader being killed by toxic waste. Whatever. Lex Luthor, he just gets put back in jail again. And there's a lot, like, Gene Hackman feels like he's barely in the damn movie. That's why I'm so surprised Gene Hackman was in this film. And you have the others like Mark McClure and as Jimmy Olsen, Jackie Cooper as Perry White, Margot Kidder as Lois Lane. They have nothing to do in the film. Nothing to do. You see? This is what this movie does to you. And then Superman, it ends, and this is the last thing we see Christopher Reeve as Superman. And it's sad. It's pathetic. It makes me mad because like, this is the last time we see Christopher Reeve as Superman. This train wreck on every level. The only good thing I can say about this film is Christopher Reeve's performance. Christopher Reeve, he's trying, man. He gives a earnest performance. He's playing that Superman very, very well. You know, the kind guy who wants to do the best that he can for humanity, that cares about other people. You know, that character, the way he played him, that's why, to me, he'll always be Superman. And even a piece of shit like this, Superman 4, The Quest for Shit, Superman 4, The Quest for Cash, Superman 4, The Quest for Common Sense, but I don't find it. It doesn't exist in this fucking movie. That could be the title, Superman 4, The Quest for Common Sense. Maybe I'll even title it that way to be a smartass. But Superman 4, The Quest for Common Sense. Go love finding in this fucking film. It's cheap, poorly scripted, terrible story, boring story. Also, what the fuck does Superman stopping the nuclear arms? Like, by the end, he's like, yeah, I've come to realize you guys have to make up your own deal. I can't be the one to stop it for you. Why? It was working. The only thing that happened was Lex Luthor, he put his stupid thing on a nuclear weapon. Now you take your own nuclear weapons, that's not a thing anymore. So why are you apologizing, Superman? Apparently you were doing the right thing. But this movie is just lousy in every fucking way, shape, or form. Even the music doesn't sound right. The look of the film, the effects of the film, the Nuclear Man is so silly and stupid and lousy. Breathing in outer fucking space, all this other shit. Powers that come out of fucking nowhere, like just looking and making things disappear, or looking and building up the Great Wall of fucking China. The action scenes is not one action scene worth a flying fuck. And just... the whole disarming the nuclear weapons... it wasn't that interesting of a story, of an idea, I'm sorry. And even then, it's like that part is separate from Nuclear Man. Like, Nuclear Man was just this other plot that doesn't really relate to his quest for peace. Not really. I mean, because Lex Luthor was a dickhead doesn't mean, oh, this quest for peace should stop. No, it doesn't. Unless you're a fucking moron to think that way. John Cryer being annoying as fuck. The other characters being useless as fuck. The whole Mario Hemingway sub-story was pointless. The whole sub-story about the Daily Planet being bought out and now more gossipy news. I don't give a shit. It wasn't fun. It wasn't entertaining. It wasn't interesting. Wasn't thought-provoking. Didn't have action I gave a shit about. Didn't have dialogue I gave a shit about. Didn't have lines like, General, you want to step outside? None of that. It doesn't have anything. And I know someone's going to ask, which do you hate more, this or Man of Steel? Man of Steel, because at the very least, Christopher Reeve does a good job in this. I can't say that for Henry Cavill as Superman. I'm sorry, that's my opinion. I can't say that. At least this Superman is being Superman and not the Hulk. Like the way Superman was fighting at the end of Man of Steel, he might have been the Hulk. Really. This though, Superman was Superman. It's just he was Superman in a very shitty movie. That's the best way to describe it. But yeah. Awful film. It deserves the low rankings it gets. I got nothing else to say other than fuck this flick. Fuck the shit. Fuck the bonus. Fuck the quest for shit. I wish it would find the common sense, but I guess it's going to continue his quest. Because Bill will never find it. Not in this century. Rest in peace, Christopher Reeve. Gave us some good Superman movies. Sadly, it wasn't this one. Later.